I'm going to capture your attention for just 1 second. I've got here an XLS report. It's coming from BuilderTrend in this case, and I'm just going to take it, copy it into this folder, and here I've got a little Python script right here, and I just get to double click that, and what it's going to do is it's going to do a little bit of work to this file. I'm going to refresh this page. You can see that it just changed something here, and I'll explain that in a second. Let me open up this file now, and I'm just going to take some input that's in here and change it just as an example. So maybe we'll just take this input right here, and as an example, let's check this out, right? And just shut this down. We get to save it. Get that off my screen. And then I'm going to open up Chief Architect. Let's check this out. This is the next part of this is open up Chief Architect. I've got a file already set up here. Any day now, Chief. And as an example, let's check this out. So what just happened there? That was pretty cool, right? We think, anyways. Here's the thought, and I got contracted to build a little example system of this, okay? And here's what it's doing is we've got an export XLS file, Excel sheet, right? Coming from BuilderTrend. It's got all of our spec in it. A lot of those files have leading hyphens. That's just a standard for this particular company I'm building the template for. And so what I did was when I clicked that Python script, it removed any leading hyphens and it converted it to a comma separated value file, which is something that Chief Architect can read, okay? Then it removed any suffix that happened because we might have been exporting a bunch of these Excel sheets and it's creating suffix every time because it's downloading to the same location. So what ends up happening next is it's coming into Chief Architect where I have a polyline, and that polyline is using an internal global macro that looks for the file location of this plan file. Once it does that, it looks for that Excel file's name. Now you can't dynamically change the name to whatever you want. Unfortunately, there's some security measures in Chief Architect that keep you from reading files that are not static. So you do have to have a static name, which is why we had that Python script change it to a standardized name that we knew we were going to look up. And that Excel sheet needs to be in the same location or in some subfolder directory for what we've got here in terms of where this plan file is being saved. But from there, it's creating an index of those lookups, right? And so these get to get reordered independently. You can reorder these any way that you want. That's fine. What the lookup's coming from is in the object information panel under a particular custom object field where we get to change this field to anything that we want. I just changed it to 32, and you're going to see here that the information did in fact change. And not only that, but you can do, if we do group similar items in the schedule itself, in our settings, group similar objects, then we've got a quantity tabulation. So we're seeing here, every time we've got this call out, that's a sync. We're ordering a total number of 2 syncs with this description. And all of this is coming from BuilderTrend in this case, or a Jobtread if you're using that. The great part about this is that we are reducing the potential of error by limiting how many times that we're doing some kind of text input. So we've got user error input from text input when we're doing it twice, high likelihood that we might have a typo, something like that. So we only have one place where we need to fix things. What happens when we want to update this? Well, you update in BuilderTrend, which is where you would be updating anyways. You re-export, you double click that script again, you open up the schedule here, and it's been updated again, right? So we noticed that it got updated just by me going in and hand typing in some things. That part's simple enough. I could, in fact, go back to this file, go back to this folder structure side by side. Let me get rid of this one. Let me copy this one back in. Let me double click this action one more time. It reconverts that, bring it back into Chief, open this schedule up, and look at that. It's been updated. Just that easy. A few clicks. It's pretty easy to manage on the whole. And so this is something I can teach. This is something I can build. If you want to know more information about it, I can give you some general information about it. I'm not going to give you all the information about it because then I would never make any money. But the capabilities are there. And oftentimes, as with most systems that I build, I actually do give you all the information you need to build the system yourself. It just might be so complex enough that you won't want to do that, which is kind of the point, is that, hey, it's an open source information. You can bring it back to me. The point that we're making here with the scripting side of this is that we do have the ability within Ruby to open a file, read the file, and then find columns and rows based on that. And you can get ChatGPT to script that. There are a few caveats. As I discussed, it needs to at some point have some kind of static file. It could be either a static file or a static directory with a variable file name. So either way, but something has to be static so that it circumvents any kind of internal security measures within the Ruby environment within Chief. The next part about this is just assigning that information. In the case of what I'm doing here is I'm reading the file and then I'm indexing 3 rows. Okay, I'm indexing row B, C, and D. After that, it's creating what's called a hash. From the hash, I've got 3 other macros that look up individual values, the 3 values from that hash. Then that's reporting it to 3 custom fields, which are renamed to title, description, and cost code. Then those fields are being reported to this schedule. So you can build it from that text knowledge right there. The last bit of information that you need is that you do have some kind of architectural item placed in plan, visible within that sheet, that is assigning a global variable to the directory of the plan file. And there are built-in directory macros. So just whenever you open up a label system or any kind of input system, right? So label system in this case, you can see here that file.directory is some kind of internal script, and we're taking a global variable. And the only problem with a global variable is we can only use it for one plan file at a time. If we had another plan file open, those two are going to circumvent each other, right? Depending on which one's the active file. So when we're using this system, we have to only be working on the active file that we're going to end up printing. Pretty cool, huh? It's a wonder what Chief can accomplish. There's some of these hidden kind of features in there. Check it out.